I already covered a video on how to mute when you're playing single note lines, but I've never covered a video on how to mute when you're playing chords or parts of chords. And this is actually much more important, so I feel really stupid for not having covered it. This is something that stumps a lot of beginners. You'll see Green Day or John Mayer or Jimi Hendrix or any guitar player playing rhythm, and they're holding the same chord shape as you, but somehow they sound a lot cleaner when they strum it. And a lot of people think it's because they're just a lot more accurate with this hand, that they've just magically hit only the strings they want to hit. And it is true that it's important to develop accuracy in the strumming hand, but the real secret 9 times out of 10 is string muting. So if you look at power chords, for example, I can actually hit all 6 strings for all of those chords and only the correct notes will sound. And that's down to 2 things. It's basically the same thing as with lead playing. The first finger remaining flat enough to mute unwanted treble strings, and then when I'm on the A string, my first finger mutes the low E. Exactly the same as in the lead playing, except it's applied to power chords. So in chords where the first finger isn't flat enough to do that, or it's more awkward, I'm going to demonstrate a couple of things that should give you the idea of how to work out how to mute any chord shape. So I'm going to take this A major triad here. I'm just going to show you in both classical and baseball bat position. So in classical position, the underneath of my first finger is muting the high E string. The tip of my ring finger is muting the A string. Nothing is muting the low E. So I have to try and be a little bit accurate, but I do have a strings margin of error in what I can strike with the strumming hand. Baseball bat style, I would bring the thumb over, and this is really useful for muting these bass strings. So lots of chord shapes you can play just with the thumb over the top, muting the bass strings. If you have another chord shape, for example this bar chord shape here, this is a very tricky one. I'm bringing my thumb over the top to mute the low E. I've got the A string muted with the tip of the index finger. I've got the high E muted with the underneath of the index finger. If you're in classical position, and this is really interesting, I'm actually using these 2 fingers here to touch the bass strings. And it's important to notice that I use 2 fingers. Wherever possible you want to mute with 2 fingers. With one, on certain points on the fretboard you will get harmonics, and with even a slightest bit of gain it will sound quite nasty. But if you mute with 2 fingers, then you eliminate it completely. And again, it's just about giving yourself that margin of error. So with that I can strike all 6 strings and get it absolutely sounding clear. So if you apply these ideas to all the chord shapes, you know you'll be able to strum them much cleaner. Okay, I think that about covers it.